Are you ready to transform your life and create a new and improved version of yourself? In this video, we'll explore 8 easy ways to kill your old self and embrace the powerful philosophy of Stoicism. 1. Rise early in the morning. One of the most effective methods to start over and create a better version of yourself is to get up early in the morning. Rising early is not just a way to extend your day. It's also a way to take back control of your life, cultivate self-control, and make time for introspection and personal development. This discipline has its roots in the Stoic school of thought, which places a strong emphasis on restraint, purposeful living, and inner tranquility. Making the deliberate choice to rise early communicates to yourself the value of your life, the significance of your objectives, and your willingness to put in the work necessary to bring about positive change. Early in the morning is a great time to ponder, make plans, and establish the tone for the rest of the day, because it's usually calm and uncluttered. You can center yourself, consider your priorities, and psychologically get ready for the trials that lie ahead during this time. Discipline is viewed in Stoicism as an essential component of personal development. It's about taking responsibility for your actions and decisions rather than leading a life of inflexible, depressing rituals. It takes discipline to get up early, especially in a society that encourages late nights, diversions, and the desire for rapid pleasure. You are strengthening your ability to maintain discipline in other aspects of your life by making the decision to rise early. You may overcome the behaviors of your previous self, who might have prioritized comfort and delay over action and purpose. When you wake up early, you develop mental resilience as a result of this change in routine, because every morning becomes a tiny win over the want to put things off or avoid them. This small habit of rising early will eventually have a positive impact on other aspects of your life, enhancing your capacity to focus, exercise self-control, and take on new tasks. Early morning hours offer a special chance for introspection and contemplation, which are essential tenets of Stoic philosophy. Self-reflection, according to Stoics, is crucial to comprehending who you are, what you want, and how you behave. You can think carefully about your objectives, your beliefs, and the kind of life you want to lead during these peaceful times when you're not distracted by the responsibilities of the day. Another method to firmly establish discipline and purpose in your new self is to establish a regular morning routine. It's possible that your previous self lacked structure and jumped aimlessly from one duty to the next. However, the new self feeds on habits that help you achieve your objectives. It's not necessary for this routine to be complicated. It might just involve getting up, practicing meditation, working out, and going over your day objectives. Consistency is the key. Routines were important to the Stoics because they kept them centered and anchored in what was really important. Establishing a morning routine is a commitment to your own development and well-being. Every morning becomes a chance to fortify your body, mind, and soul, laying the groundwork for an accomplished day. When you initially begin rising early, you can experience fatigue, lack of motivation, or the need to revert to previous behaviors. However, keep in mind that this discomfort is just momentary, and that every time you overcome it, you are developing into a stronger, newer version of yourself. The carefree, lazy old you is gradually giving way to a focused, disciplined self that moves forward even in the face of discomfort. It's also critical to keep the wider picture in mind. Getting out of bed early is only one aspect of waking up early. Another is taking back your life and making the most of your time. You choose to live with purpose when you wake up with intention, as opposed to letting life pass you by. This change in outlook might support your motivation even on the days when you find it difficult to wake up early. The natural world was greatly valued by the Stoics, who saw it as a source of inspiration and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius frequently observed the order and beauty of the natural world, drawing lessons from it about the transience of life and the value of coexisting peacefully with the natural world. You may witness this link directly by rising early and taking a stroll, lounging outside, or just taking in the view of the rising sun. You can develop a sense of gratitude and mindfulness by spending time in nature. The new you is totally present and conscious of the simplicity and beauty of life, rather than hurried or preoccupied. You can gain perspective and serenity in these silent moments of connection with the outside world. These qualities are crucial for developing a tough, stoic mindset. Early mornings are symbolic of a new beginning. You have the chance to start over every morning, to move past the mistakes of the past and concentrate on the things that you can control for today. The Stoics held that we should cherish each day as a gift and make the most of our remaining time. You are adopting this mindset and making the decision to live each day with goal and purpose by waking up early. You may have taken time for granted in the past, letting days pass by without much purpose. However, the new you is aware of the value of time and the significance of living each day to the fullest. One little but meaningful approach to honor that understanding is to rise early. It serves as a daily reminder that you are in charge of your life and that you have the ability to bring about change. Getting up early is a method to change your life, not just a habit. It's about developing self-control, thinking back on your principles, and living each day to the fullest. The old self, with her procrastination, distractions, and lack of direction, gradually disappears when you begin to rise early every day. A new you appears in its place, one who is disciplined, focused, and prepared to face life with a stoic outlook. 2. Recognize when to say no. Learning to say no is one of the most liberating parts of personal development. The old self, for many of us, was constrained by social expectations, commitments, and the never-ending urge to please others. It's simple to get carried away and agree to things that aren't in line with our actual principles or objectives. Real freedom, according to Stoicism, comes from knowing what matters most to you and becoming skilled at saying no. Saying no could initially appear self-serving or harsh. In the end, society frequently pushes us to be accommodative, adaptable, and receptive to everything. Stoicism, on the other hand, presents an alternative viewpoint. Saying no does not imply excluding others or dodging accountability. Rather, it is about safeguarding your concentration, energy, and time so that you may commit to the things that really count. Reclaiming your time basically means learning to say no to unneeded obligations. Perhaps in the past, you would have accepted every assignment, social invitation, and favor that someone asked of you. However, there is a price to this. It makes little time for personal development, self-care, or achieving your own objectives. Saying no to activities that don't benefit you is a good way to free up time for the things that really count. This could entail taking time to relax and rejuvenate, working on a passion project, or just spending more time with family. Refusing pointless diversions makes room in your life for the things that actually fulfill you. Choosing to say no is another way to live up to your basic principles. The Stoics held that in order to lead a moral life, one must be certain of their beliefs and behave accordingly. It's possible that the former self consented to things out of duty, remorse, or fear of criticism. On the other hand, when you follow the wisdom of the Stoics, your decisions start to align with your inner principles. Saying no to activities that are incompatible with your values, such as honesty, integrity, and personal development, becomes crucial. You may choose to abstain from social gatherings that deplete your vitality, gossip, and unethical business activities. You are reiterating your commitment to leading an ethical life by doing this. Refusing becomes a powerful instrument for creating the life you desire. Every no you say serves as a boundary to safeguard your well-being and integrity. The need to fit in or yield to outside forces no longer affects you. Rather, you follow the direction of your own inner compass and make choices that bring you a genuine and purposeful existence. People often find it difficult to say no because they are afraid of disappointing other people. We are concerned about coming seen as callous, ungrateful, or self-centered. But Stoicism emphasizes that we are in charge of our own acts and intentions, not how other people see us. Saying no when you know it could result in disappointment requires guts. However, it is a fact that you cannot win over everyone. Making the effort to do so will just make you feel worn out and disengaged from your own needs. The ability to decline without feeling guilty releases you from the constant pressure to live up to the expectations of other people. You start living your life for yourself, rather than for other people's acceptance or approval. This mental change is essential to destroying the old self that was always looking for approval and establishing the new self that is self-assured, confident, and loyal to their own path. Establishing sound boundaries is another aspect of refusing. Perhaps in your past, you were overly eager to please and always prioritized the demands of others over your own. However, without boundaries, you run the risk of abandoning your own objectives, burning out, or being angry. Establishing limits is a key component of Stoicism, as it safeguards our physical, mental, and emotional health. Establishing limits is a sign of self-respect, not selfishness. By saying no, you are claiming your right to safeguard your concentration and vitality. You are choosing consciously what you will put up with and how you want to spend your time. Setting boundaries makes sure that your life represents your values and objectives and helps you prioritize what is most important. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is intentional choice. The Stoics held that instead of responding on impulse, we should live intentionally and make deliberate decisions. Saying no is a conscious decision-making activity. It makes you stop, think, and assess whether anything is in line with your objectives and values. You start living life with more intention when you master the art of refuse. It's possible that the former self made snap judgments and consented to things without giving them much thought. However, the new you considers all options carefully, balancing the advantages and disadvantages before making a decision. Making thoughtful decisions gives you authority over your life. You are no longer a bystander, responding to events as they happen. Rather, you take an active role in shaping your own reality by deciding what aspects of your life to include and which to leave out. To undergo personal transformation, one must possess this degree of self-awareness and intentionality. It's important to know when to say no to your own inner cravings and inclinations. The new you recognizes the value of self-control, even though the old you gave in to every indulgence, diversion, and craving. According to Stoicism, real freedom originates from mastering oneself rather than giving in to every urge. Saying no to bad habits, negative thought patterns, and procrastination may be necessary to achieve this. It could entail putting aside worries about the past or the future. You make room for a stronger, more focused version of yourself to emerge when you say no to the aspects of yourself that hold you back. One of the main tenets of Stoicism, and a crucial stage in self-transformation, is exercising self-control. You may have been impulsive in the past, giving in without hesitation to urges, feelings, and outside influences. However, the Stoic philosophy asserts that controlling your feelings and impulses is the path to true strength. You have to develop self-control in order to transform into a new you. This entails stifling the impulse to respond emotionally to obstacles, disappointments, or provocations. It entails resisting temptations that draw you away from your morals or aspirations. Emotions such as anger, fear, and want, according to the Stoics, can impair our judgment and cause us to make bad decisions. However, by practicing self-control, we can learn to manage these feelings and react calmly and wisely to life's obstacles. Our character is revealed in our capacity to maintain composure under pressure. In addition to developing inner strength, exercising self-control helps you develop a stable, peaceful mindset that enables you to face life's obstacles with grace. Self-control is the key to liberation on the path to becoming a new you. You may make decisions that are consistent with your values and objectives when you are not dictated to by your emotions and impulses. You take control of your life and learn to handle even the most difficult circumstances with fortitude and discernment. 4. Acknowledge your fears. Although fear is a normal part of life, in the past you might have allowed it to stop you from going after your dreams or experiencing life to the fullest. Fear, like all emotions, can be controlled, even welcomed, according to Stoicism. Accepting fear is the first step towards transformation, not running away from it. According to the Stoics, fear frequently results from worrying about things that are out of our control. For instance, despite the fact that these emotions are all a part of the human experience, we dread rejection, failure, and loss. Accepting that fear is unavoidable and cannot be eradicated allows you to break free from its hold. The new you knows that fear is not a barrier to be overcome, but rather a necessary component of the journey. When you accept your fears, you understand that they are real, but you don't allow them to control how you behave. By changing your viewpoint, you may confront obstacles head-on and overcome them with bravery and resiliency as opposed to running away from them. You can destroy the old you that shied away from discomfort and difficulties by learning to embrace fear as a friend rather than an enemy. The new you welcomes fear as a tool for development, understanding that it's only by addressing our anxieties that we can fully realize our potential and strength. 5. Believe in your capability. Building confidence in oneself is an essential component of self-transformation. When you were younger, you may have struggled with self-doubt and wondered if you were capable of reaching your objectives or good enough. However, Stoicism believes that success is mostly determined by your thinking. You have to have faith in yourself to transform into a new you. Marcus Aurelius wrote a great deal about the influence of attitude and cognition. Every day, he told himself that he was wise and strong enough to handle any obstacles that came his way. This peaceful confidence that arises from knowing you have the ability to govern your behaviors and decisions is not arrogance. You start acting in ways consistent with that conviction when you start to believe that you can accomplish your goals. Even in the face of difficulties, you may move on with this optimistic outlook. The doubtful, hesitant old self starts to go, to be replaced by a new, self-assured self who is prepared to face the world. This mentality change takes time to manifest. It takes consistent practice, affirmations, and a dedication to seeing setbacks as chances for personal development. But eventually, you'll grow to believe in yourself so much that the doubtful, hesitant, afraid person you were in the past will vanish from your life. 6. Be aware of what's going on right now. The value of living in the present is one of Stoicism's major lessons. Though Stoicism teaches that the only time you actually have control over is now, it is possible that in your older years you were consumed by regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. You have to learn to live in the now if you want to reinvent yourself. This entails focusing on the present moment rather than letting your mind wander to hypothetical or unrealized scenarios. The Stoics held that we can lead more purposeful and happy lives if we live in the present moment to the fullest. Restrict yourself to the here and now. This straightforward yet wise counsel serves as a reminder that dwelling on the past or the future squanders a lot of our energy and tranquility. The new you accepts the here and now, knowing that this is the only time you can take action, transform, and advance. You can release the previous version of yourself that was unfocused, nervous, or preoccupied with circumstances beyond your control by practicing mindfulness and present. The new you is composed, centered, and aware of what really important right now. 7. Take it easy on yourself. Perfection is not the goal of transformation. In the past, you might have been too hard on yourself and would frequently think back on your errors or perceived flaws. However, self-compassion is a key component of resilience and growth, according to Stoicism. It's crucial to treat yourself with care if you want to establish a new you. The Stoics held that although we should aim for perfection, we also need to accept that mistakes are inevitable and that life is a journey. Being overly harsh on yourself will just make you feel frustrated and self-conscious, which will impede your growth. You can free the former version of yourself that was caught in a loop of guilt and self-criticism by engaging in self-compassion practices. The new you is understanding, patient, and more concerned with personal development than perfection. This mental adjustment enables you to face your journey with resilience and confidence, understanding that each step, including the mistakes, contributes to your overall change. 8. Write down what you need to do today. Writing down your daily goals is one of the most useful strategies to reinvent yourself. You may maintain organization, intentionality, and focus in your actions by following this easy routine. You may have been easily distracted, disorganized, or overburdened with work in the past, but Stoicism teaches that order and clarity are necessary for a meaningful existence. Planning and introspection are powerful tools, according to the Stoics. In his journal, Marcus Aurelius frequently recorded his aspirations for the day as a way to keep himself focused on his objectives and principles. Writing out your to-do list for the day helps you prioritize tasks and make sure they have a purpose. Also, it keeps you responsible to yourself. You are committing to completing your tasks when you put them in writing. You strengthen the focus and discipline that are critical to your change with every task you complete. You kill the old you that was disorganized, unfocused, or unproductive by forming this habit. The new you is methodical, purposeful, and dedicated to reaching your objectives little by little. These 8 steps, which have their roots in Stoic philosophy, offer a potent foundation for letting go of the past and forging a new identity. You are capable of becoming a better, more knowledgeable, and more resilient version of yourself with self-control, introspection, and a laser-like focus on what really counts. Accept these habits and observe how the old you gives way to the person you were meant to be.